Hi, this is Haas from GNAT News. Today I'm in East Dorset at the Wilson House, a historical building that I knew very little about, and so I've been invited down to find out why is this building in East Dorset so historic. Come on in.
Okay, Berta. So my understanding is we're in a very old building. Just how old a building is it?
We are in an old building, an 1852 hotel. Here we are in East Dorset, and you say, in 1852, did East Dorset need a 28-room hotel?
Yes, I'm thinking that.
Yes, but East Dorset was the epicenter of the marble industry. Within 5 miles of this house, 30 quarries were working.
30 quarries.
So the gentleman who built this hotel was involved in the marble industry and the commercial side, obviously realized hotel would be a good idea, and built this property. 1852, the population here was between 3,000 and 4,000 people. Today it's less than 500 people.
Now, did this continue as a hotel? Was it ever a private residence, or?
It was a hotel, always run as a hotel of some type, yes. It had several names. It was the Wilson House Hotel, it was the Mount Aeolus Inn, it was the Dorset Hotel. It's had several names. It transferred through several families until the late 60s, when the ownership of the hotel really was having financial struggles. So this place ran as long as it could, but it ceased to operate in the late 60s as a hotel. And it sat empty. And it was on the market.
Do we know how long it sat on the market?
From what I know, it was 18 to 20 years.
Wow.
Not being
Nobody
occupied.
wanted this place.
Well, and nobody could live in this place. I mean, it was down to 2 rooms being inhabitable. And the room in which we're sitting, which is now our kitchen, had a tree growing to the 2nd floor.
That sort of reminds me of the stage where the Sirloin Saloon got to.
Yes.
Where a developer or anybody's looking at it going, this is just a teardown.
To most people, that would absolutely have been the case.
There's no reason to save this place.
No reason. Not financially or any other reason.
Okay, so it's got a tree growing in it, but the tree's no longer here. So is there a second story? So what is
So
this?
there is another story. And that story begins in 1895, when this was the Wilson House Hotel and was run by the Wilsons. In 1895, they had a son, Bill. The family lived here for 2-3 years, moved on, and then moved back to East Dorset to what is the Griffith House, had been Bill's maternal grandparents' house, and now the Griffith Library.
Here in East Dorset?
Here in East Dorset.
Was there more than one child? Or
Bill and his sister, Dorothy, lived here. They took the train to BBA, were boarding students during the week.
So they took the train to get to school?
That's right. I remember these wagons with marble on the back and snow, and you know, it wasn't a 7-mile, 7-minute trip.
And the train wasn't yellow? It was just a train.
Just a train.
Just a train. I got you.
Just a train.
So,
yeah.
So this Bill person.
Bill graduated BBA.
Right.
Went to Norwich University. Did not graduate because the outbreak of World War I. Yes. Many young men went into the service, as he did. Went to Europe. Came back to the States. Married a young woman from Manchester, who he had met at Emerald Lake, began a career on Wall Street, was very bright, very successful at certain points in time, but at some point began drinking and realized over the next several years that drinking was a problem that he could not handle on his own. In 1935, on a fateful trip to Akron, Ohio, Bill met a fellow Vermonter, Dr. Bob.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that? Born in St. Johnsbury, this gentleman also was an alcoholic and had been working with several others on a variety of treatments.
Got it.
Bill and Dr. Bob realized that together the connection and fellowship of another alcoholic was what really allowed them to, one day at a time, continue to become sober.
So instead of struggling alone, you struggle together.
The struggle together.
Gotcha.
And the connection with that fellowship.
Gotcha.
And that led the partnership into creating the foundation of the 12-step recovery we know as Alcoholics Anonymous by writing the big book, which is still the foundation of recovery today.
So this new treatment spread all over the world.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
And continues to spread all over the world as we sit here today.
And did they stay together to the very end?
They did stay together and were, colleagues throughout the whole thing. And both men died sober. Dr. Bob in Ohio and Bill in New York in 1971. And only upon his death did the New York Times reveal his true identity to the world. William Griffith Wilson, co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous.
So all those years it wasn't known?
All those years it was Bill W. Bill W. is buried in the East Dorset Cemetery, a mile from this house.
Oh, so he, in a sense, he returned home again?
He returned home to Vermont, as did his wife, Lois.
Help me understand, was that when the building was falling down and dead, too?
Well, interestingly enough, as Bill died, this building was unoccupied and uninhabitable until a gentleman who was an alcoholic came to East Dorset to pay respects at the gravesite of Bill W. and discovered that this property was here, his birthplace, and was really a teardown, as we had talked about, for almost anybody. But for somebody who was in Alcoholics Anonymous and owed his life to this program, Alcoholics Anonymous, this was an opportunity. Bought the property within a day, and had a big personality and began to marshal resources and people to bring this back to life. This really is now dedicated to education for people in recovery.
Gotcha. Okay.
And all of us know people who have suffered from addiction or addiction in the family, and that draws people here to pay homage to Bill W. If you've been in that program, it draws other 12-step people here for programs that we present throughout the year.
So this is also a teaching place?
This is a conference center, really, for folks in recovery. We have 12 guest rooms. We have some large meeting rooms.
Gotcha.
And we run 45 programs a year. Plus, we do Halloween on the porch for the kids, and we do Christmas programs.
Now, if I was just a traveler coming through Vermont and I loved historic places like the Calvin Coolidge place, can I just stop in?
Absolutely. This is open 6 days a week. We are on the National Register of Historic Places. And we have a community dinner on Friday night.
You have a community dinner on Friday night?
We do. We have the best chef in town.
Oh, so I don't have to drag my casserole down or something?
No, you don't need to bring your casserole. We'll feed you 5 to 7 o'clock. No reservations required. You just come. Enjoy the Wilson House.
Are you saying it's free? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Small price attached, but very small. It's a donation to the Wilson House.
Well, Berta, thank you so much for spending some time today and training me up on what this place is about.
Well, we welcome everyone at the Wilson House.
Sounds good.
Hope to see you here.
Thanks, Berta.